coming to you live from the heart of the free state of New Hampshire. This is The Independents with Carla Gericke. And now, here's your host, Carla Gericke.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Carla Gericke, your host for tonight, and we are doing The Independents After Hours. And I do have a guest who I will introduce in a hot second, or actually I might even have him introduce himself. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to remind everyone, if you're watching this, it is Friday evening, and next Friday, this time, we will all be having dinner as part of Liberty Forum. So if you do not have your Liberty Forum tickets yet, please go ahead and go get those. It's unreal, the lineup, including Tom Woods, who is coming out as the VIP keynote speaker on Saturday evening. The event will be taking place, of course, at the Grapponi Center in Concord. I hear like the Thursday night when we don't have events, Lindsey Graham is going to be in town. There's a protest being planned for Thursday, March 5th at the State House by 4 New Hampshire organizations that are protesting Freestaters having a conference, which of course is now in its probably 14th or 15th year, or maybe even older. Those 4 organizations are Kent Street Coalition, Southern New Hampshire Indivisible, the 50501, I think that's 50 states, one protest something group, and Granite State Matters. If you're watching this and you're of the curious sort or a researcher, I think it would behoove us to know what their funding sources is, what their stories are. You know, so many people are going around the state telling little stories about Freestaters, so maybe we should start telling stories about them as well. So that will be taking place Thursday, again, 2:30 to 3:30 at the State House. Now we are going to shift gears from Liberty Forum. And what did you just do? You went and you got your Liberty Forum ticket. We are going to shift gears to my guest for this evening. So as the camera moves, I am going to introduce Daniel Rothschild. So we called the episode the Rothschild edition because that means maybe we'll get some clickbait. I don't know. And so welcome to The Independents.
Thank you.
So, Daniel.
Yes.
Tell everyone, where did you hail from? What is your story? How did you get here? Lay it on me.
My story.
Your story.
Well, first, I just want to say that I'm not in the Epstein files. I met him once for a charity about planting trees in Israel, and that was it. So.
Oh, you did meet him once?
No. Okay. My story.
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
My story. I don't know. I mean, my mother told me the first thing I did when I came out of the womb was defecate on her. So I think right away,
Me
I didn't really
too.
like authority. So
That's my origin story.
really? All right.
It's a very common thing, by the way.
Interesting. I didn't even realize you knew my mom. And so right away, I guess I didn't like authority. But I don't know. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like telling other people what to do.
And so from a young age, you've been pro-poop and anti-authoritarian.
No, I'm not pro-poop, but I'm a bit OCD actually. But yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we all have our quirks.
I mean, we all have our quirks.
Yeah.
I will tell you, one of the ways that I mitigate some of mine, some people will have fidget spinners or like different things.
Yeah.
If I'm really tired, you might find me doing a little rocking, but I like to chew chewing gum.
Okay.
And then got like super addicted to Nicorettes for like 15 years, which is the nicotine gum.
Okay.
But I am weaning myself slowly off it.
All right.
So, what's your trick?
I don't know. I don't like the idea of having something in my mouth I can't swallow, so I don't think gum's for me. But
Or blowjobs.
huh? I mean, not giving them. That's true. But everything has a price. Yeah, I don't know my. I
Okay,
don't know.
so are you? What state are you originally from?
I'm from New York, the center of libertarianism.
And New York City itself, right?
Yeah.
And so born, raised New York.
Yeah. I was born in New York. I lived in Connecticut for like the first 12 years of my life. Then
Okay.
we moved to New York.
Oh, that must have been a bit of a change.
I mean, it's like an hour away from where I lived.
Right, but one isn't the one sort of like very more rural or more, and then bustle of the city?
Well, I mean, I grew up in like a part of the Bronx that's rural-esque, I guess. But it was a little changey. A little, yeah.
And did you, since the word academic is in the title of your book, I feel it's fair game to ask you, did you go to college?
I went to college. I went to grad school. Yeah.
And in New York City?
I went to college in New York City.
And what's your grad in?
Economics, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have some grad papers too.
Okay. Yeah.
In economics, is that where you met the veritable Walter Block, who I guess is a little bit on a lot of people, including possibly my shit list a little bit. But, you know,
we could talk about that.
He is a well-respected scholar. He is someone I read a lot, actually, coming up. I was a big fan of the Lou Rockwell website way back in the day. The first short story I ever published was on LouRockwell.com.
Yeah.
And Walter used to write for him, or maybe even still does. So did you meet him in college?
No. I mean, so I was an English major in college.
Okay.
And because I don't like taking tests and you just had to write essays. And I thought maybe I'd teach or something as a career, but I didn't want to teach English. I got more into economics, I guess, recently, but I didn't take it as an undergrad. And so I went to my college. No, I decided to, I think, initially first, just like go to like a college near me and not for credit, just take some like econ classes. And then I asked their advice about grad school and they're like, where did you go to college? And I'm like, Queens College. They're like, why don't you just talk to the chair of the econ department there and ask their advice? And I'm like, okay. So I went to Queens College, went to college and I asked their advice and they're like, are there any economists that are alive that you like? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, why don't you ask their advice? And I'm like, okay, that was not helpful at all. Sure.
Or is that how networking works?
And so I emailed Walter Block.
Nice.
Saying, you don't know me, I'm a fan of your work, and just want some advice about grad school. I hate math. And then he emailed me back. I printed him out 18 pages. And I'm like, okay, that's nice, you know. So that was my first
contact with him.
Yes.
Was basically a fan letter.
Yeah.
And what did you ask him?
Just I majored in English. I didn't take any econ classes. Anything I know about econ is self-taught or intuition. I hate math. Do you have any recommendations?
Okay. Yeah. And what did he say?
He recommended 2 master's programs and then like a few grad programs and PhD programs and stuff like that. And then he CC'd like other people. Yeah, he was very helpful.
He honestly, that is something I have admired about him. And I think it is a little bit of a missing element of maybe the modern era is that sort of hand-holding, networking.
Yeah.
You know, all of us could do a better job. People seem to think if you like tag someone on social media, you've had a conversation.
Right.
Well, I have news for people. That's not, you know, you could tag me till the cows come home. I might not even see it, you know? So, Walter wrote me a letter once too. Okay. Not in response to fan mail, but I was very flattered to be included in he was the co-editor on an authoritarian autobiography for libertarians.
Okay.
I smashed 2 words together there.
Okay.
And and when I sent him my submission, he wrote back, "Wow." Okay. And I thought that was cool.
All right.
So, what was your field specifically in economics?
Law and econ mainly. Was the focus, yeah.
And is that, what your book mainly focuses
Yeah.
on? All right, so hit me with the elevator pitch. Tell the title. Tell people where they can find it.
Sure. The book is The Economics of Bureaucracy, an academic view on why government sucks. You can find it on Amazon mainly, or if you meet me, I have copies.
Gonna like whip one out of his shirt.
Yeah, I don't have any on me right now, but yeah, you should. I think it's a good book. You should buy it. If you want to read it, that's fine too.
So is it because you are a funny guy? You do a
Yeah.
little bit of stand up and
Yeah.
stuff as well. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't tell tonight, but you
Right.
know.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
um, he's like, oh, the gloves are coming off now.
Yeah.
But what is sort of the premise of the book? Is it just kind of delving into how government sucks?
Yeah, I mean, it's different topics on, government and why they suck and stuff. I mean, one of the things that
Can you dip your stick down the white part so I can see your face? It bends.
okay,
See, this can all go like this. Can you make the white part go down? Like make it like a L like mine?
is this good?
Push in the middle of the joint. Sorry, Daniel, but I want to see your face when
That's-
I talk to you. Otherwise,
fair
I'm like,
enough.
oh, I can't see
All right, thank you,
your eyes.
thank you. Yeah,
See, well, I don't know if you're an autist, but we autists need to work on more eye contact. So
no.
I just wanted to see your
I'm not
face.
socially awkward. I make other people feel socially awkward.
That is very true. It is your magic trick.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of the state, obviously, but it's interesting because I think there are different sects of I think libertarianism, and one sect which I think Rothbard has responsible for a lot, and I'm not really a fan of it, is sort of a portrayal of government as sort of like a comic book villain. Like government is like a group of people that are like
Whoa.
yeah, who like this almost all knowing people whose like goal is life is just to steal, control, and oppress people. And I don't think that's true. I think government is composed mainly of just people who probably want to do the right thing, are not particularly intelligent, and suffer from bad incentives.
Yes, and I actually am enlightened to hear you say that. Or that's not the right word. Sometimes I'm translating it from another language.
Right.
It surprises me that you say that because I have a sort of similar view in the sense that sometimes I think libertarianism, by its very nature, has kind of created this like the biggest, baddest enemy, and it.
Mhm.
When framed in a certain way, is actually a very deep victimhood philosophy.
Right.
And it strikes me as sort of counterintuitive to when we look at the free market side of it, should really be aspiring to. Like you could be like, how do I go around? How do I build alternatives? How do I get to Mars? Or you could be like, big bro daddy is like, oh, it's the reason why, I don't know, I'm actually on welfare, but it's, the government's fault.
Mhm.
And yes, so
Yeah. Everyone needs a boogeyman they can blame their problems on.
because turns out personal responsibility is actually kind of hard.
It's true.
Character building is not seamless. It actually takes work, right? So
I wouldn't know.
fair enough. Truth in advertising. All right.
I'll take your word for it. Okay.
No, I'll take your word for
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So give some examples. Like, what's one of the chapters about?
Well, civil asset forfeiture is one. I talk about anarchy.
Okay, and
Obviously.
civil asset forfeiture for people who are maybe learning or discovering libertarianism and sort of
Sure.
the big bad that is out there. I mean, the reality is we can call out the issues. I just think how we come to the problem, our mindsets, is
Yeah.
a part we can do a little more work on. So civil asset forfeiture.
Sure. So civil asset forfeiture is the idea that, the argument or justification for it is basically we don't want people who engage, the state basically says we don't want people who engage in criminal activity to profit from it. So we want to take the profit out of crime, and we want to seize things that were paraphernalia in illegal activity. and we're going to charge the object itself as being guilty. But objects don't have rights. They don't have any constitutional protections. I mean, we don't really either, but
We
people
perhaps
give
are
lip
also
service to.
objects.
Yeah, sure. People give lip service to it. They don't really. But anyway, so you just need sort of preponderance of the evidence, probable cause. You don't really, and you sort of have to prove that the object's innocent. The people seizing it don't have to prove it's guilty. About 80% of civil asset forfeiture cases go uncontested because people have to, pay for their own defense and fight it themselves.
And so it is an area where it would seem fairly simple to persuade people that reform is necessary, and yet it is something that at least the last 20 years that I've been working on it, or watching it, I believe the police department's budgets, they now make more out of civil asset forfeiture than they do out of their budgets, if I'm remembering correctly.
I mean, I don't know about. I mean, they certainly profit from it a lot.
No, but it's in the billions of dollars.
Yeah, I think they said more was taken through civil asset forfeiture than all private theft combined.
Okay, that's the line then. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, it's certainly a problem because, it's much harder to convince people to raise taxes to spend money on a budget. So this is sort of just a way you can just get it through some loophole where I just can seize it and then I can fund it that way.
So mine that is as absurd for me is qualified immunity, right? I don't know. Do you have one in the book about that?
No.
So the way I explain that with the police is ignorance of the law is no excuse, except if you're the enforcer of the law, the police. Then it is an absolute defense. So they will literally say, we didn't know like shooting at the kid and hitting the dog is illegal, so we should not be held liable. And they get away with it.
Yeah. I also think ignorant of the law is a total good excuse.
It should be.
You don't have thousands of laws. You can't expect people to know them all. It's ridiculous.
Isn't there was that writer out
tyranny people say that ignorance of the law is no excuse. No one who believes in freedom thinks that. Yeah, sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say there was that attorney down in Massachusetts who wrote that book, 3 Felonies a Day,
Yeah,
right?
We're
probably up to like 19 each, honestly.
Yeah.
So how did it come about that Walter wrote the foreword?
I asked him to.
Yeah, by email. And you were like, hi, I'm your #1 fan.
No, I didn't do that. I don't brown nose. I just, I said I wrote a book and...
I bet you he read it, right?
Who cares? And probably not all of it, maybe parts. I don't know. We did an essay together that was in there too. But yeah, so I just, I don't know.
You asked and he said yes?
I asked and he said yes. Yeah,
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what his controversy is right now. Like, what's the scoop there? Do you know?
I mean,
I'm going to be very ill-informed, but...
All I know is that it started with, I guess, some like libertarians who called him scum and didn't like him because I guess his position on Israel or whatever, and then he was kicked out of the Mises Institute, and
So, he actually, wow, because... I seem to recall where usually when there is something of that magnitude, it's either Israel or COVID, right? Like those were two big things that seem to be sort of splitting the thinkers at the moment.
I mean, I think the Mises Institute, they acted like a bunch of pricks because even if you say, I think Walter's wrong in this position, okay, human beings make mistakes. Like, argue it out. You've known the guy for over 30 years. You don't just have to be like, you're scum, we're kicking you out of our organization. That just makes you a virtue signaling asshole, as far as I'm concerned.
Right. And
like, I'm more pure than you. Fuck you.
It is a complex issue, I think, because we do want to look at it through that lens. And I think we've become hypersensitive, right? In a way where everyone is sort of reactionary. Yeah. And what they should do is maybe just wait a few beats. Like, one of the things with the news cycle is I really do try and apply this to my life now is even when drama flares up in the community, I mean, I don't always get it right, but I do just like try and take a week to
Yeah.
like, because a lot of times it flares up and then it just, settles down again.
Hmm.
Because I think we should focus more on broad character, I think, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you're saying about Walter, right? Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had a big body of work, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people knew him.
Yeah.
I thought he was one of the ones who were bad on mandates.
I don't know, but who cares? I mean, the institute, the Mises Institute, is named after Ludwig von Mises. Mises himself supported military conscription. That's not very libertarian.
Right.
So if you're going to be purist and be like, you have the wrong position, get out, then why are you naming an institute after
They
someone who
should
has a
dead
bad
name
position?
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. All right?
You heard it here first.
You're named after an institute out of a guy who supported military conscription. I guess that makes Mises scum, or was he imperfect? And sometimes you have positions that are not right all the time. So, you don't have to dehumanize someone and just be like, you're wrong, you're a villain.
So
Very
I
immature.
think that is such an important point because we are caught up a little bit in this I am rightism, right? Where people are like, they think the stakes are so high, but to quote who's the Big Lebowski, right? Where it's like this triggers Alex. I apologize in advance, but I'm like, that's just your opinion, man. Like,
Okay.
I feel like we need to go back to that a little bit where people don't have to do these like lines in the, lines in the sand. I don't know. But let me ask you about mandates, just because I'm curious.
Okay.
Because would you regard yourself as sort of a property rights expert? Do you have firm
I don't
opinions?
consider
Do you
myself an
think-
expert really on anything. Okay. But I mean, I have views.
Okay.
Hopefully they're backed up by some knowledge. Yeah.
So,
foundation.
so there was a bill that actually came up to the House this week. I had, for folks following along, I had Melissa Blasek of Rebuild New Hampshire on my
Okay.
show on Wednesday. So people can find that on YouTube, on my channel, Carla Gericke TV. And she was talking about some bills that they've been championing up at the State House. So one was a parental rights bill that would basically make homeschooling like totally exempt from all their requirements and stuff. That one sounds really good.
Yep.
And then the other one was to remove all vaccine mandates from the schedule for kindergarten and public schools. So anyone who wants to vaccinate can still vaccinate, but it is not mandated. It is not a precondition to attending public schools.
Right.
And I was kind of surprised that there was such a wide differing on the view of that and that it was trying to be justified that mandates are not a violation of self-ownership. And I'm like, I'm just not buying it. I feel like if you have an opportunity to say no more mandates, i.e. the government may not force you to inject your child in order to get an education that you're getting taxed for anyway, right? Then as libertarians, we should have seized that, surely.
Sure.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm not in favor of mandates generally. I mean, I believe in freedom of association, so I think I think in general, I don't really believe in government schools, but I think a school can have their own policy concerning whatever it is, and then you can make the choice whether you want to send your child to that school or not. And
well,
that's as far as it
ideally,
goes.
those schools would just all be sort of privatized, right? And it would literally be like
Yeah.
you could have. I always use the example of airplanes. I don't know if it was because it was how I grew up, right? But I've always thought about deregulation or privatization through the lens of cool airplanes, by which I mean, I would love to see 420 high air, right? Or and an airplane where you could take your dogs, or airplanes that only have screaming children.
Yeah, there's big demand for that.
Well, the parents, honestly, most parents actually, I think they would prefer that because then everyone's in the same screaming boat together, right?
Sure.
And so with schools, there's this massive opportunity if we gave people more choice to be like, you could have tutoring, you could have a little micro school, you can have a little, so What do you think the barriers are to more education freedom?
I don't know, statists and authoritarians who.
And the unions, I think.
Sure.
Um, So, yeah. All right. Tell me another chapter in your book. I want to ask you also, while your mind, I don't know if your mind works this way. We are going to be doing a lot of exciting things here at the Quill over the next months. And I want to come up with a format for
Okay.
these kinds of exchanges where we have like 10 questions and you always ask them. I don't know if you remember like the Actors Studio from way back when on like Bravo or something. You're probably too young.
I know. Yeah, you James Lipton. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how he had that classic
I never
list?
liked the show.
No,
sort of
but I like the
pretentious,
classic
yeah.
questions at the end
Okay.
because I liked that everyone was asked the same things, and then it's sort of interesting. Honestly, I liked it because one
Okay.
of the questions was, what's your favorite curse word?
Okay.
And I just loved the idea that, like, I forget, maybe it was even on TV in South Africa, and it was like, you could swear on TV. So,
Yeah.
if you were to devise a list like that, what kind of questions would you ask?
What's your favorite curse word?
That is
I
a
don't.
good
I don't
one.
know.
Well, Daniel.
Cunt probably. I don't know. I don't know.
That's honestly my favorite and my least favorite
Okay.
as well.
The ones that
depending on
upsets
how
the
it's
people.
deployed.
The one that upsets people the most is my favorite, whatever one that is.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But okay, so favorite curse word. But I was thinking like with a libertarian flavor, right? Do you think like
I don't know
You
any libertarian curse words.
Oh.
anyway, go
I
on.
almost took that as a challenge, but I am going to step away from
Okay.
that situation. No, but I meant for the question. So you might be too young, but I think you're probably a reader of politics, right? So the famous Bill Clinton went on MTV and they did the boxers or briefs, right?
Okay.
So are you familiar?
No.
So this was like a famous turning point in politics, right? Because Clinton was kind of like the first hipster. I mean, he's not, but like he was sort of positioned as the cool guy.
Okay.
And so they were interviewing the candidates, and someone asked boxers or briefs.
Who gives a shit?
And people were like, oh my God, we're talking about a president to be's underwear. Oh, right.
Okay.
And it wasn't really important, but it was
No.
that sort of binary sort of thing, right? So in the same way, if I were to be testing, I wanted buttons on Facebook that were
Okay.
literally like 1984, Soylent Green, Fahrenheit 451, like all the different dystopians so that we could nuance B things. So
Yeah.
would you do like Rand versus Macy? Like if we were to come up with playful questions, maybe I'm just seeding this for
Yeah.
you to think about,
Okay,
and
I don't
then I'll
know.
bring you back one day and be
Okay.
like, all right, what you got? What are the
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll have to think about it. Yeah.
Do you what kind of hobbies and artistry or stuff do you pursue? Tell us about your comedy career.
I don't really have a comedy career. I do it for fun and occasion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Hobbies? I don't know. I like music, film, board games. I don't know.
What's your favorite board game?
Container.
I don't play board games, so
Okay.
I'm just going to nod along.
Sure.
Do you play chess?
No, but I've heard of it.
Me too. I hear
Okay.
there's a queen and
Yeah.
she's important.
Yeah, I've played it before, but I'm not a fan particularly.
You're not a fan of chess?
No, a lot of people like it though.
I do. I'm
Okay.
not very good,
No,
but
neither
I
am
mean,
I.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
If I played
Okay.
more, but I don't.
Yeah.
So, there's only so much time in life. What kind of movies?
I mean, I don't know. Pretty much. I mean, my favorite is probably like, I don't know, a dark comedy or maybe a sad comedy. Some drama and comedy mixed in. Yeah.
Do you have any titles?
Happiness is my favorite film. Yeah, Alex knows it. He showed it here at the Quill.
Is it that
Uh,
that's not the one with the emotions, right?
what?
We should show that one. No,
The
that's an
emotions?
animation. It's
No,
like
no,
a
no, no,
Pixar
no.
or
No,
something.
no, no.
No.
It's a dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
Yeah, dark comedy.
Um,
And yeah.
so you didn't actually tell us how you got from New York to New Hampshire. So where did
Oh.
you hear about the Free State Project?
Oh, I think I first heard about it from everyone's favorite libertarian, Antigone, I think, where 2013, 2012, I don't remember
At a
what
festival
year.
in New York?
Yeah, there was an Anarchy in New York City festival,
I spoke at that.
and
yeah.
I had to go to the bathroom, and some woman, Antigone, it was apparently, goes, will you sign this pledge to go to New Hampshire? And I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. And then she just follows me in the bathroom. And she's like, I'm not going to let you go until you sign this pledge. And I had to go. So I signed the pledge. And I'm a man of my word. So I'm here. No, that's not really why I moved. That would be ridiculous. But yeah.
Oh, is your word not your honor?
It is, but I'm not going to move somewhere just because I signed a pledge when I felt I was under duress. But I don't know.
Duress.
After during COVID, I guess I was supposed to get this job teaching like in Rhode Island, and it fell through because of the lockdowns. And then I got like this temporary gig in New Hampshire, and then I just stayed here.
Oh yeah.
So that's sort of how it worked.
So you
Yeah.
actually were a COVID baby? Like you came up here because of that?
Yeah,
Has it been so? You feel like you've been here longer for some reason.
I have that effect on people.
He had a full head of hair when he moved here.
I did not.
I probably still had brown hair.
I did not. But yeah, I mean, I was social distancing before it was cool, but I don't like being told I can't leave my house.
No, it feels to me like very much most libertarian functions, and in fact, I might even have pulled some photos and been like, before COVID, we were all standing 6 feet apart, like a photo from Bardo or something,
Yeah.
and then it was like post COVID, and then you get everyone to stand close together because, of course, we just have to do
Right.
the oppositional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I know we would keep it to around an hour, so we
Okay.
probably have maybe like another 5 minutes if you want.
Sure.
What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind, Daniel?
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I guess I don't really like I think politics makes us worse. I don't really like how people sort of just, if they hate something or someone, they just are sort of hyperbolic and spew nonsense instead of making like nuanced criticism. But yeah,
Do you hear that more on podcasts or you read it more on social?
I mean, I
Yeah,
think the
on
news.
social media,
I think
we
the news
should
is
call
meant
it.
to be divisive. So
Right. So let me
But-
ask you something, because no one, I shouldn't say no one, I would say all the centrists agree with me.
oh,
Libertarian centrists, which I mean actual libertarians, because I think both sides of the spectrum, the left and the right, libertarians are just part of the normal culture war. And please go back to your fucking parties.
okay.
But I will tell you how I really feel. Is I always thought being a free stater transcended the culture wars, because I'm
Okay.
like, otherwise, why are we libertarians? If we want to argue about our personal preferences, go back to the Republicans and the Democrats. Why are we doing it in the libertarians?
I don't know.
Are you like
People like drama, you know.
right? I mean, it's divide and conquer
Yeah.
could be a perception
I
for
like
that as
drama.
well. But I was thinking the other day, I was like, if you just objectively from up here look at what is the role of the Libertarian Party?
To make libertarians look bad.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I think the very idea of a libertarian party is sort of a contradiction.
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So
'cause
do you identify as ANCAP?
Yeah, I'm an anarchist. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, government sucks. There should be the least of it as possible. And I don't think politics is a road towards freedom ever. And it's interesting too, because Rothbard, who so much hated the state, believed the only way to obtain liberty is through politics. But to me, that sounds like a contradiction because you're essentially saying government is evil and sucks, but the only way we can have liberty and freedom is through a mechanism they control. And
What?
this is a system of tyrants designed by tyrants. Why are you playing their game?
Not only that, but I think it is the shell game because whatever you're claiming as that liberty within that window that you got
Yeah.
changes all the time because people are attracted to the power of politics and then they go get theirs, right? And then the next group comes in and they do the same thing and they do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
I think
but even if like I remember, I don't vote.
you voted for me once.
No,
You lie.
I don't.
Did
I
you
never
come
vote.
down to Goslar? Why do you? I have
What do
a
you mean?
memory of that.
What do you mean?
Did you not come down to our school? We have a school here at the end of the street.
I don't know.
No.
But I don't vote.
Okay.
And but some libertarians were like, you should vote. You know, we'll tell you all the libertarians running. You don't even have to think. And I'm like, do you think that's an argument that's going to
For it?
persuade me? I don't have to think. But yeah, but I mean, look, even if you vote for libertarians and they enact stuff that leads to greater liberty, then if it's positive, people are going to be like, hey, I guess government can do some good. So in any way, it's destructive. Because even if you make liberty gains, people are going to still view the mechanism as, well, now the state's beneficial. I want people to view the state as negatively as possible. You don't have to portray it as an all-knowing comic book villain. That's absurd. But I don't think you should have a positive view of the state. And I think, you know, it's just a system of tyrants that's broken. And I agree with George Carlin. If you think there's a solution, you're part of the problem.
Interesting. You know, maybe you know this story, but way back when, right before we triggered the move, we had like 4 months where we could, we were doing active advertising, but it was literally 2016, right? So it was 2015 where they said we can have 2 keywords to attract libertarians. Well, to do Facebook marketing, right? So initially it was like you have 2 keywords and Vince Perfetto, my social media guy at the time, was like, Carla, you get to pick the 2 keywords. Like, what are you going to put in to like attract libertarians to New Hampshire?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Ron Paul and George Carlin. And I think I did okay with that mix. Certainly the first happy wave that came, you know, what we would now call the OGs, seem to have that sort of vibe. I mean, I guess now the kids these days are like down on Ron Paul.
Are they?
Yeah, I guess.
Why?
I don't know, for clout, I would guess. Like
What, they don't like him, I mean? Or
yeah, I mean, it's like
ingrates.
You know,
Ingrates.
it's like Kaufman. He's like Ron Paul, and I'm like, I mean, there's punching up, there's punching down, and then there's like punching everyone's hero.
Ron Paul probably brought more people to libertarianism than anyone. So
yeah,
don't shit
for
on-
sure,
to shit
right?
on him is just
And
stupid.
actually, his message, I thought,
Yeah.
was very uniting of the left and the right. That was part of the magic, right? And people forget, at least here in New Hampshire, you know, the Republicans and the Democrats are both under 30% in the state. So we have a big block. That's why I called my show The Independents, because I was like, we should be trying to communicate with Granite Staters
Why?
because, I mean, not specific, well, because that's how we're going to have a privatized country one day. But,
Okay.
you know, there's steps between here and there. But because, for me at least, I think a much more successful message is New Hampshire against the world.
Okay.
Because you kind of have everyone with local pride.
Yeah.
And instead, we have sort of brought this like very divisive left-right energy.
I mean, I guess. I'm a big fan of political division because when you have unity, you have tyranny. So you know, and I mean, one of the things, you know,
So you think if we unite to secede, that's tyranny?
no, but I think, like, for example, there are a lot of libertarians that will either view the left or the right as the bigger threat. Most probably view the left as the bigger threat.
Well, they are literally bigger
But
as a sector.
okay, and they'll be like, we should join with the right to fight the left. And all that ends up happening is that they become less libertarian and more Republican. So I just think that's a losing strategy. You can't be a fringe movement trying to tell people that are already mainstream, hey, you should become more fringe. That's not a working strategy.
What
So I just don't think allying with a mainstream movement is a successful
do
way.
you did you have thoughts on this ICE jail they were going to build here in Merrimack? Did you hear about this?
No, but I'm an open borders guy, so I'm against it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, speaking of like, oh, when we sort of stray off the path and then we become just Republican, right? And sometimes I have to be like, people are like, the Freestaters, and I'm like, no, a Republican Freestater, not a
Yeah.
Freestater Republican. Like, you got to put, you know, they're voting first. And to his credit, I mean, Osborne did eventually come out and say, you know, it's not getting built, and maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if he said that, but he was a little gung ho there for a while. And I, again, you know, much like I'm shocked that anyone who understands libertarian property rights could be for mandates.
Right.
I am like, this is similar, where I'm like, no, anyone who is inviting the federal government into the state of New Hampshire, that's like the antithesis of what we hope to accomplish here. I was like, what? We're going to build a 600-bed federal prison, and you guys think they're going to use it for immigrants? Because I remember the FEMA camps.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's very libertarian to support statist borders either. And, you know, I mean, the government doesn't own this country, so why do they have a right to determine
who lives where?
Yeah, who lives where?
Well, now, how would you, in my imaginary Carla land, right?
Okay.
Queens World, Queensland, I'm building.
Yeah.
Mostly as a teachable framework, you know, to be fair. How would you, if you were king of New Hampshire?
I'd resign. I want a different job.
See, I always said I believe in regicide, but then I saw how crazy some of these are. So I'm like, I'm probably dialing back on that one.
Yeah.
I would reign with benevolent neglect.
Okay.
Which is an actual style. That is how Hong Kong became as awesome as it did in the 50s. They had a governor who was like, I rule with benevolent neglect. And then he just like was drinking gin and tonics all day.
Great.
I don't drink gin and tonics, but you know, I could get behind that.
Right.
But if you were king of New Hampshire for a day, right before you resign, how would you deal with your citizen? Like how
would I deal with my what?
So you wouldn't have borders, so you couldn't rule. Okay, so I see your logic, but now we're putting on imaginary hat, and you are king of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Do we have a digital citizenship that people can buy? Like, how would you?
What? I don't know what your question is.
Okay, maybe I'll make you governor of Mars.
Okay.
How would you run Mars if you had to control population, or you just wouldn't?
I don't believe in.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to run my own life. I'm not going to run other people's. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to be king. I'd resign. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, supporting restrictive immigration, to me, the whole justification for the state is sort of this view that, like, this is a giant hotel, the state owns this country, and we're just renting a room in this giant hotel. So once you concede that point, which is basically the argument for restrictive immigration, everything else eventually goes out the window. So I think if there's one area that libertarians should be most passionate about, it should be like, no, government doesn't own this country, and they don't have a right to engage in population control and decide who can and couldn't who not live here. And all this conservative bullshit argument of like, well, would you just let an immigrant come to your house? No, because that's my private property. Who owns this country? It's not the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you think it's fair to make the comparison, as I've always done in the past? It's not very popular at the moment, but I used to think of us as migrating to New Hampshire, and that we were truly refugees in the true sense of the word, right? We were fleeing
That's true.
what we saw as oppression and tyranny and authoritarianism and choices
That's
and
what
all of that.
I think that's a good point. I mean, if borders between countries are so good, let's have them between states and between counties and between cities. I think why are we just arbitrarily limiting it between countries? So it's very opportunistic.
This is where Daniel, the Rothschild in you comes out. He just is like pitching us 10-minute cities with like a lot of other words. I see it.
So it's I mean, so I think you're punishing people based on how they're born. You're born in the wrong country, so you just should be condemned to a life of poverty. That's not a very just.
No, and I mean,
position.
I am an immigrant. I am an African American immigrant. I arrived in America with $7,000 in a suitcase.
Okay.
And and I'm proud of that story. I'm proud of like the American dream. I'm proud of like America being like something aspirational and kind of cool and like rugged individualism and all of that. And so it's like so tainted, all of these stories and this sort of shared vision I feel like people had, maybe misplaced, but the thought of the American dream is pretty like soft libertarianism, own your own home, have a white picket fence, like property rights.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm just amazed how we've come full circle, because I immigrated in 96. And in 96, back then, the Democrats hated on the immigrants and the Republicans were like, open borders.
Yeah.
And then it switched. And they keep doing that. And I think the problem with technology is now we can see the lies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I came here in 1985, so yeah.
Did you see the clip about... this was, apparently we're going to go to war with Iran again. I would assume anti-war. Are you anti-war?
Yeah.
That's also a good, the non-aggression principle. That's also a kind of part of our founding doctrines. But I guess that one's going out the window too, because
I don't know any libertarians who support a war with Iran, right?
Right.
But yeah.
So they showed clips of Bibi.
Okay.
Over from 2005, where it was, like when they mush up all the things, and he's like, any minute now, minute now, for like 20 plus years. So hopefully we don't.
But if you're afraid of them getting a nuclear bomb, attacking them undermines that position, because they're going to be like, well, we need nukes because we're getting attacked. So I just don't see why attacking a country that doesn't have nukes, because a country that doesn't have nukes gets attacked. A country that doesn't. So, if you don't want them to have nukes, don't attack them.
Yes, because you know what? Most people can live peacefully, and most people just react to bullies. Sure. And, and our foreign policy.
I don't know if most people can live peacefully. We have a state that's reflective of, I think, the human nature to some degree. So, and the overwhelming people in the world support it. Most people support authoritarian beliefs, right? They're two-faced. So they'll be nice in their personal life, and they'll be friendly to you, but they'll, behind a secret ballot like a sniveling coward, vote and support authoritarianism. So I don't know if I agree that most people can live peacefully because they support authoritarian institutions.
But you call it authoritarianism, and, the lady who gets her books from the library perceives it entirely differently, right? Like, I sometimes feel like when we tell the story of the state, we never talk about the people it might actually be helping. Like we kind of throw away the public library with the mother of all bombs.
But I think you have to think in the aggregate. So if someone's like, your government gives us roads, okay, they also gave us the Holocaust. So you have to think both.
Well,
you can't just say, look, let me cherry pick and look at the good things government does.
So one of the few memes I personally made, didn't share, was Velociraptor. I think it was what it was called. It was the green one.
Yeah.
And I said, 230 million in democide, worth the roads?
Right.
And I made that one, and I was very proud of it. And I was like, and then, as the internet is, everyone was like, your number's wrong. And I was like, okay. But maybe as a sort of intellectual concession, we just go, all right, the 20th century gave us all those wars.
Mm-hmm.
It did give us the national highway system.
Right.
And we just go, okay, we got the roads. From now on, we could just build up from the roads, right? So maglevs have to go up on the highways and whatever. And we just kind of make that the price. And then we just do away with everything. Yes, we got the roads and now we can move on.
Sure.
All right. Any last thoughts? Just because I'm going to run out of steam. I think I still have to go make dinner.
Fair.
What would you like folks to know about you? Do you want them
Nothing. My main goal in life is to be misunderstood.
I think you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Do you want people to follow you? Are you on social media? Remind everyone where they can get your book.
Amazon.com.
Daniel Rothschild.
Daniel Rothschild.
Related in any way to any of the lizard people?
The lizard people?
Aren't they lizard people?
I don't know. I don't think I'm related to them. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you have a secret trust fund?
No.
You shouldn't have hesitated.
No, I don't. I'm not related to any lizard people.
But possibly some Rothschilds.
I mean, I'm related to the Rothschilds in my family.
Do you come from a big family?
I have 2 sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are any of them related to the famous Rothschilds?
I mean, if I'm not, I don't think they would be.
I'm just testing.
But who knows?
I'm
I don't
testing
know.
the water.
I don't know.
All right. No, last pass to you, and then we will wrap up here.
Let's leave it on suspense.
Okay, so
right.
folks, sometime in the future, we will have Daniel back here at the Independence After Hours. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you,
would
likewise.
recommend to folks find his book. Maybe we bring it back. I did try and find my copy. I told him before the show I couldn't find it because I'm redoing my library. But, take a read at that. And maybe as a summary, remind people libertarianism, non-aggression principle.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. I mean, I think I disagree with a lot of libertarians who would say aggression is never justified under any circumstance. I think morality is complicated. I'm willing to concede there might be circumstances where it is, but I also don't think you develop an ethical system based on once in a blue moon emergency scenarios. So coercion might be justified, but the burden of proof is on the one who wants to do the coercion. But non-aggression principle, good rule of thumb, but I don't know if it's axiomatic, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave it there for tonight.
Sure.
Thank you to our producer, Alex, and thank you to everyone who joined us here in the wherever we're streaming. You can always find my content on my website, carlagericke.com. Go buy your Liberty Forum tickets, and I will see everyone at Liberty Forum next weekend. Thanks, guys. I wish everyone peace, love, and understanding.